No.
Lights! I have lights now. It was dark.
Yay!
Yay, lights.
All right.
So, Zero Interest. Season 4, Episode 6. Help me out. I can't check.
No, you have to do this. You have to do it your own. Guess. It's tipping point.
Tipping point. Okay, point. I was way off. Okay.
No.
Yeah, so
tipping point.
So
our plucky team is going on the path, still in the road with a map, and they're like, seriously, Ruby, how long do you think this would actually take? Just like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever, maybe. Yeah. And they arrive at.
They are traveling across a continent.
Yeah.
So yeah, think how long it would take to walk across. Let's say China. Let's say actual China, just to be, kind of nice.
Almost as much walking as in Samurai Jack.
So, yeah.
But they arrive at the town of Onigiri, which is half built. And this is our mountain glen, where the rich wanted to go and build a town off on their own, where they could just have their own rules.
And blackjack
didn't work out. Yeah. Their own town with blackjack and hookers. And then the Grimm attacked, and my parents were there, and Ren's like my parents. Or he said something about his parents.
They thought it was the future.
Yeah, his parents thought it was the future. Okay. I thought it was like implied that his parents were there or something, or had some connection to it.
His parents believed in it. That was pretty much it.
Okay.
And was summarily disappointed.
And he's just like, man, before like this Grimm attacked this place, and
this one. It very specifically says it was
this
one Grimm.
Yeah. And it's a pretty tidy Grimm, because it didn't break down any of these buildings. They're still standing.
Yeah.
The half-built ones.
I have thoughts, but I can't express them until you've actually seen the episode in question. So, we'll just move past.
All right. So then we move over to Weiss, who's singing, and she's all singing opera, and then she's singing in a voice that is clearly not her own.
Yeah, Casey Williams, she is a trained operatic singer, so
as she tends to do. When she sings, she becomes Casey Williams, and it just, I don't know what happens.
It's
I guess she's
that far away from Cara Eberle's voice, so it's not too jarring, actually.
But it is still jarring.
A little bit.
For me, at least. And we go to the after party. Where her father's talking.
Noting that she is singing about her life is her own and she won't be controlled by people. And then as soon as the song's finished, it cuts to Whitley and Jacques, who are just smiling politely, even smugly, and just going.
Yeah. And we cut to the after party,
saying she's independent now. How
and
adorable.
then we cut to the after party, and she is forced to stand beside her dad and brother, like a little trophy. And then she's like, I'm gonna go get a drink.
I did say listen out for the cameos while we were watching, and the first two are right there. They are talking to Jacques, and one of them is Scott Frericks, aka Kaiser Neko, was the businessman.
Oh.
And the other one is Amber Lee Connors, a.k.a. Shadow Ranmaru, who is the voice of Android 18 in the DBZA.
Atlas, Mantle, you can't deny the economic disparity between the two.
I mean, what exactly are you suggesting?
Oh, that's cool.
There's another one that comes up later.
So she goes, finally convinces her dad to let her go get a drink or just leave for a little bit. And she looks at the painting of Vale, and she's like, oh, or whatever. I don't, is that Vale that it's painting of? I don't know.
I wasn't actually paying that much attention to it, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I was just like, is this what's this painting of? Well, she's staring at it forlornly, and specifically the thing that says, all proceeds go to Vale.
That's actually kind of insulting because someone probably did actually paint that. So, sorry to the artist who actually painted that. I will put a clip of the painting itself for people to actually look at and, so I can prove how much of a schmucks we are, so...
It's beautiful.
No,
I didn't pay attention to it because it wasn't important to the plot.
We're dickheads.
As much as what it represented.
Sorry.
And so some guy tries to hit on her. And he's doing a pretty poor job of it.
Yeah, I mean, you get the impression he isn't exactly a pickup artist. He is actually kind of nervous about it because you can see they actually animate him just rocking back and forth on the velvet rope and stuff, just fidgeting. So...
Well, she is like Weiss Schnee. And she was just singing in front of everyone, so it's kind of a little... You're trying to go up to an idol, and, yeah.
Basically. I mean, yeah, you get the feeling that he is genuine, but he reads the situation so very wrongly, thinking she's just a socialite.
And then
he's
like,
I don't... socialite as well, worth noting.
And he's like, I don't even know what this is for. I just come for the food and drink. And she gets upset by that because this is a fundraiser for Vale.
A thing that she actually genuinely cares about, and he's kind of dismissive about it.
And so she yells at him. And everybody's kind of like...
She tells him very sternly, leave.
Yeah. Then she hears somebody across the room saying, oh, well, Vale, they deserved it. They had such poor defenses. Then she decides to yell and start something. And...
Oh, we missed the other cameo. You called it out, actually, while we were watching. You remember the guy that was saying, this is ridiculous. I ordered a double sun day. That was Lani Patul.
Oh, I thought it sounded familiar.
He ordered a double sundae. Get it?
I get it. I get it. Gosh. Lani is still probably my favorite of the Team 4-star crew.
I think they're all amazing, but that's just me. I couldn't choose.
Well, I followed his Yu Yu Hakusho bridge before I even found Team 4-star, so... Which is hilarious, by the way. Go see that if you haven't. And then she gets, pushed to the ground by her dad. Because she's making a scene. And then Bork gets summoned.
Yep. Because
screw you.
Me and Zero were in a bit of a disagreement about how this happened. Zero thinks it was Whitley, which is plausible. Winter did say that all Schnee have that semblance where they can summon. And use the glyphs. I'm more of the opinion that Weiss did it accidentally. Because Whitley is very obviously not a fighter. He is, daddy's boy. He is being trained in business, not in fighting. And Weiss has fought the boar thing before.
But it seems so odd to me, considering that the last time she was able to summon something was just an arm of the night thing.
The arm of the night thing was a whole hell of a lot stronger than the boar alone is.
Yeah, it just seems off. I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me.
Also, in fairness, the arm was actually just one Grim. The arm on its own. The knight armor, again, this is also something from the manga, but the knight armor was actually made up from multiple of the Geist Grim that you saw in the first episode of the season. All possessing different parts of the armor. So, yeah, the arm itself was effectively one enemy.
Okay, that makes more sense then. It makes me wonder if she could. Makes me wonder if she could summon the entire armor at one point. Then.
No idea. It'd be cool, but I have no idea.
That's a season 5 or 6 thing for sure, but like it'd be cool. Probably season 6.
No idea.
And the boar thing goes and tries to attack the lady, but it gets shot because Ironwood is there. And
hand cannon. Awesome.
Is it just me, or does he have more gray hairs?
Yeah, I think they added more gray hairs, which makes sense. Look at the president, or the previous president, rather.
Yeah.
The one that actually gave a shit. Sorry, I'll stop. Yeah, he aged rapidly, just from doing the job of being the president. Ironwood is basically the president of Atlas, more or less.
Lots of stress.
And he looks like he just attacked a country by accident. So that's a little stressful. So maybe that does give you a few more gray hairs.
He's like he's got that 5 o'clock shadow going on, and he's got the gray hairs. He looks like a mess. Doesn't even say much. He's just kind of like, yeah, she's the only one to saying anything that makes sense, and then leaves. So, yeah. Then we move over to action. We move over to Crazy Guy is now attacking Ruby's team.
I mean, the first time people saw him, they just wrote him off as just a Joker wannabe, which, yeah, a little bit, but he's also so much fun. The animation on him is fantastic.
Yeah. This is a character that couldn't exist in a previous season, I feel like.
No.
Because the animation that around him is just nuts. He's the most well-animated character in the entire show. Hands down.
Yeah, they probably couldn't have done that because I think he requires, to do the animations that he does, like the, gaping eyes and stuff like that he does, probably requires a more pliable model and skin, which I don't think Poser can do, to be honest.
Yeah, no, Poser would not have been able to work with him at all. And he's fighting them, and he's pretty scary. Like, he's attacking, and he's like, I believe he says, I don't care about any of you, but I am interested in you, and I am here for you. You kind of interest. But I'm here for you, Ruby. And so he's like, yeah, I'm just going to take Ruby and bring her back with me. And like, we're not going to let you. He's like, okay. That's what I wanted. And he proceeds to fight them and hurt them pretty badly because he's crazy and strong. And crazy strong. And then it's a pretty good fight scene, in all honesty. And like Ruby gets a few good hits onto her.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah. Okay.
And then
there is the bit where Ruby shoots at him and hits Nora. That's actually a good moment because that's a win-win for her, no matter how it goes down. Either she hits him, great, or she misses and hits Nora, also great.
Also great. Yeah.
That was a good setup.
So it was, and then Nora goes after him, and it's like, oh wait, he has a tail that protected him. I don't know how strong that tail is to be able to defend against Nora's hammer when she's supercharged.
Well, the tip of it's pretty strong, apparently. Which makes sense because that would probably be armored, or at least tougher than the rest of it. Like, you remember the Deathstalker?
Yeah.
How they cut the end of the tail off because they cut above the end of the tail, above the stinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably that kind of situation. The stinger itself is really fucking strong.
Yes, is it really a scorpion tail?
Yeah.
Because like he's a faunus.
Yeah.
But why do you have a scorpion tail? That's not an animal, doesn't...
Snakeskin. Remember from the Faunus episode? They can be reptiles. They can be birds. We haven't seen them, but they can be birds.
But, like, scorpions are, like, insects, though, right? How's that work?
I'm not a zoologist. I couldn't tell you.
Like, I guess if it's like a... I don't know. Scorpions just don't... Why would a faunus have a scorpion tail?
You're looking up whether scorpions are...
They're arachnids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are arachnids vertebrates? I'm not entirely sure what your problem with this is.
They're invertebrates. They're invertebrates.
Okay. They're creatures that are not human.
But faunus are animals. Isn't that how it's supposed to go?
Not necessarily. It doesn't really establish specifically that it couldn't be an invertebrate. It couldn't be an arachnid. It's all the faunus is specified as being is a human that has parts of them that belong on things that are not human. They genericize that to animals, but it doesn't. It's not a scientific generalization. It is just animals is easier to say than animals, and also arachnids and insects and probably.
Now I'm just so confused. Are there faunus with wings? Are there fish faunus in the sea?
Yes. They have confirmed that, yes, is the answer to that question.
Are there faunus with spider legs? Like, I don't know.
One animal trait per faunus. So, don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Okay. I've just had my world shook by what a faunus really is. But anyways, Crow zooms in to try to block this crazy guy from killing Ruby or knocking her out and taking her. And then the episode ends. Good fight scene. I enjoyed it. Crazy guy is very well animated. I'm interested to see where the Weiss stuff goes, but not much really happened other than we see that she's still upset and she caused a commotion. More interested in the after effects of that.
I'm curious who that socialite dude is, because he is a named character with a distinct design, and he has not shown up for the rest of the season. That's not really a spoiler. He doesn't show up for the rest of the season.
What's his name?
Henry Marigold.
Oh, yeah, he introduced himself.
He did, with his name. Conservation of detail, motherfuckers. You do not give someone a name unless you're going to use them again. So if they never use him again, I'm going to be mildly annoyed.
I feel like he'll come up in future Weiss events. He seems like a season 6 type of guy. Or season 5 type of guy.
Stop
Sorry.
numbering people. It's very rude.
He's a season 5 type of guy. You know, the season before all the big stuff because they're doing like trilogy style or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna eye roll whenever we bring that up. Yeah.
Well, it's so important for understanding how they're organizing the story, at least, even if it's dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Final thoughts?
Good episode. I enjoyed this episode more than I understand. I really like the character focused episodes, but I was thirsting for some action, and I'm glad I got it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'd give that a thumbs up. I enjoyed it.
Yay! And now we're gonna do another one, even though Zero didn't want to do another one because it's a terrible place to leave off.
Yeah, it is. It is. Why did you move the cliffhanger?
It's like literally stopping in the middle of a fight scene. Like, why would you do that?
No. I can't stop. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next. We'll see you guys next time with episode 7, which is called Punishment. Punished.
Is it? I thought it was punishment. Okay.
Yeah. Punished.